Hannibal Barca walked a path carved in blood and defiance. He burned cities, shattered legions, and dared to attempt the impossible. Through blizzards, starvation, and death, he led his men across the Alps, and when he emerged into Italy, the world changed forever. He is Hannibal Barca, and he is revenge. Before Hannibal Barca rose to challenge an empire, his world had already been shaped by defeat. His father Hamilcar fought Rome through the long agony of the First Punic War, a struggle that ended with Carthage humbled and the Barcid name burning with unfinished vengeance. Hannibal grew up in that fire, sworn as a child to resist Rome for as long as he drew breath. In 221 BC, destiny struck again. Hasdrubal the Fair, Hannibal's uncle and commander in Iberia, was murdered. The army turned immediately to Hannibal, seeing in him the same relentless will that had once terrified Rome. At just 26, he became master of Carthage's forces in Spain. He moved with purpose. He bound Iberian tribes to his cause, forged Africans, Gauls, and Spaniards into a single, hardened army, and expanded Carthaginian power across the peninsula. When Saguntum, Rome's ally, defied him, he answered with a siege that ground the city to dust. Its fall in 218 BC was more than a victory. It was a declaration. Rome demanded his surrender. Hannibal answered by marching. But Rome had already caught wind of his advance. Believing he would never dare cross the Alps, they moved to block the coastal route, confident they had predicted his every step. Hannibal chose the one path they dismissed as impossible. He led his army north, across the Ebro, through hostile tribes, and straight toward the frozen wall of the Alps. Men died by the hundreds, horses slipped into ravines, supplies vanished under snow and ice. Yet Hannibal pressed on, a bronze-helmed figure atop a war elephant, carving a path through blizzards and stone. When he descended into Italy, half his army was gone, but his resolve was untouched, and Rome soon felt its edge. At the Trebia, he shattered their legions. At Lake Trasimene, he turned the morning fog into a weapon. But at Cannae, on a scorching August day in 216 BC, Hannibal reached the height of his genius. He drew the Romans in, let them press forward, then closed around them like a tightening noose. His cavalry swept behind their lines, sealing their fate. Tens of thousands were crushed in a single, suffocating storm of dust and steel. Cannae was not a battle, it was annihilation, and for a moment, Rome trembled. But even the greatest commander cannot win a war alone. Carthage withheld reinforcements, allies faltered, years passed in a grinding stalemate. Hannibal remained undefeated on Italian soil, yet victory slipped further from reach. Eventually, he was recalled to defend his homeland, not defeated in spirit, but undone by politics and exhaustion. The Second Punic War ended, but Hannibal's story did not. He returned to Carthage as a statesman, a reformer, a leader who sought to rebuild what war had broken. Even then, Rome feared him. Even then, his name carried the weight of a curse. He is Hannibal Barca, and he is revenge.